Hello, third graders. It is time for lesson 5.8. 5.8 here. Yummy. Do you want to eat that? I do. I do. Now, why would I show you this? Well, today we're going to be talking about how to figure out what is missing, right? And so we're not going to look at fractions, although this kind of looks like we might be, but we're going to be looking at products and multiplication. And we've been working so much on multiplication facts later. We are going to be figuring out how, if you have a number that's missing in the multiplication fact, how can you figure that out? So here's our math message today. This says there are 6 teams on the field for a tournament. There are 54 players in all. Each team has the same number of players. How many players are in each team? All right, we always start with some kind of visual here to represent that. Now, I don't want to draw all of the teams out, so I am going to draw 6 boxes here that are going to represent the teams. So there's 6 of them, and I know that there are 54 players. But what I am trying to do is to figure out how many players are on each team. What do you think I could do or think about? Oh, forgot an S here. What could I do or think about to try to figure out how many players are on each team? All right, I could have heard a variety of ideas here, right? Maybe we start dividing up these players onto each team or figuring out what would fit here in order to make this work, right? We are kind of splitting these up, but I want us today to think about this like multiplication, right? I have 6 teams times some amount of players that I don't know equals 54. Okay, so our good multiplication brains can kind of think through this and think, all right, well, what would fit in here? So I know that 6 times, let's see, 54 is really close to 60. 6 times 10 equals 60. That's really close, right? So I know that this number has to be a little bit less than 10. What do you think would go here to make this true? It's the number 9. 6 times 9 equals 54. Remember, you can use your fingers to help with the nines. Let's do that here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We put that one down, and we have 54. Okay, 54. So we can see that 6 times 9 equals 54. And you might be thinking, well, that's kind of like backwards division. And you're right, right? It absolutely is. We're going to be thinking about the factors. That we're going to have a missing factor. These numbers right here are the factors. All right, so let's talk a little bit about this problem, right? The product is the total when the two factors are multiplied together. So in our problem here, the product was 54. And you can see it's just flipped around, right? 6 times something equals 54 is the same as 54 divided by 6. This is why we have been working a lot on those fact families. Okay, and we figured out that this question mark here would represent the number 9. All right, we've seen these facts triangles also, and we know that the answer is up here, right? And so in our fact family, well, why don't you give me one number sentence? Let's start with a multiplication problem that is in this fact family. It uses 2, 4, and 8. Give me a multiplication problem using those. All right, I'm going to guess that most people did this one. 2 times 4 equals 8. And then other people might have done this one. 4 times 2 equals 8. And then we can also use the division fact. 8 divided by 2 equals 4. And 8 divided by 4 equals 2. right? So as we look at this multiplication factor, and I know you kind of know the answer already, we're going to think, okay, here's one of the factors times an unknown factor, right? We could put a question mark there if we want to, equals the product. The product is the answer to the multiplication problem. All right, we know what goes under the red circle. It's 4, right? Because 2 times 4 equals 8. We saw that over here. All right, let's practice some more. Now we have some more missing factors. So 2 times something equals 16. All right, so I'm going to count by twos. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. And you couldn't see me, but I was putting up a finger each time that I was counting one of the twos, and I ended up with 8 groups of 2. If you want to think about that like division, 16 divided by 2 equals 8, right? If you have 16 and you divide it in half, you have 8. All right, here we go. Something times 4 equals 24. So I'm going to look at my 4. This is my factor I know. This is my factor I don't know. This is my product. All right, here we go. I'm going to count how many 4s I need to get to 24. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. That was 6 4s. 6 groups of 4. Oh, we already did this one. Let's change that. That was in our math message. Let's change that to this one right here. All right, so how many 6s are in 36? Well, I'm not super great at counting by 6s. So I'm going to use a helper fact. I'm going to think, well, how many 5? I'm going to use 5s here. So I'm going to get to 36. We could do 6 times 5 equals 30. So if 6 times 5 equals 30, then one more group of 6 would equal 36. 6 times 6 equals 36. That's the rhyming one, right? 6 times 6 equals 36. All right, your chance to practice here. All right, what would go in this empty spot? How many 2s to get to 10? 5 is our correct answer. Here we go, 3 songs. 3, 6, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. How many 3s was that? Did you say 7? If you did, you were right. And all right, the 9s here. How many 9s would we need to get to 72? You can use that trick on your fingers. Try to find 72. What would go here? 8 would go here. 8 times 9 equals 72. So our goal here, right, we're working on these multiplication and then the corresponding kind of means goes together, division facts, right? We're kind of introducing that just a little bit and thinking about the missing factors. The game you are going to play, I know, no math journal page, I'm sure you're just so disappointed, is called Factor Family Reunion. All right, and I'll show you how to play here. You can see that we have all the factors out here. We have 9, 3, 6, 2, and 7, and we have to figure out which factor would go here. So 4 times blank equals 12. Well, I know 4 times 3 equals 12. So this guy comes over to this table, right? 3 times blank equals 6. Now, don't multiply those together and say that it's 18. 3 times 18 does not equal 6. 3 times 2 equals 6. And so, oh, did I miss? There we go. All right, what table does this one need to go to? 2 times what equals 14? The table with the 7s, right? Okay, and you're going to continue working and filling these up as much as you can. I bet that a lot of folks, and I bet maybe even everybody, can get all of these filled in. After you feel like you've been practicing for a while, you're going to send me a screenshot of your family reunion that you've created here. All right. That is all third graders. Factor family reunion as we look for missing factors in multiplication problems. you need any help with anything, be sure to reach out and let me know. And good luck.